Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Monday, October 21st. And if we take a look at where we are in the futures markets this morning, we're about 15 minutes to the open. And if we look at markets and the futures section, you're going to see that we're in the red for all of our US indices. So we're off to a bit of a slow start, a bit of a red start to the week and the day. But I think that'll turn. We're starting to hear a bit of a narrative today around only being days away, really a couple weeks away from the US election. And things are pretty close between the Democrats and the Republican parties. So both candidates, Harris and Trump, are doing their very best to try to convert those that are kind of on the sidelines and carry their party forward as the leader throughout that electoral race. So we'll have to see what happens there on November 5th, as that race is pretty tight. If we scroll down and take a look at health and retail, the one thing that stands out today in health and retail is Humana. Cigna, the insurance company, has started to rekindle conversations around an acquisition of Humana. So that stock is up slightly, about $8 in the pre-market. Now, this is a stock that's gotten hit hard over the course of the year. The stock's down 42% year to date. So it was up in the high 400s, close to 500, and it is now down in the mid 200s. So if we do get an offer, and we have earnings coming out in 9 days, if we do get an offer from Cigna on Humana, we should see that stock jump probably in the $60 to $90 range, I would have to guess, would be somewhat of the range of a premium I would expect that Cigna would have to pay or offer in order for that deal to get accepted. So we'll see what happens there. A lot of that number will bear down on or be contingent on earnings as well. So we'll have to see what the earnings come out and look like for Humana in 9 days. In transport, we've got CNR reporting tomorrow. So we'll be looking out for those numbers to see what's going on from an economic standpoint with the distribution of goods. So the railways do the greater majority of the initial transport, typically from shipping yards or grain depots to, or farmers to grain depots of goods to start that process. And then transport often kicks in and fills the second gap. And then if it goes to the consumer, there's often kind of a last mile transport company involved in that redistribution effort from a large distribution center. So we'll have to see what CNR comes out with. I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait for that one. We've also got Valero announcing on Thursday. So we've got them coming out with earnings in 3 days. And I'm pretty positive on Valero. I mean, the numbers are going to be nowhere near what they were last year. They had some record numbers last year, but I do believe they're going to be positive. They're going to be cash flow. They're going to be strong on the cash flow front and the creation of operating cash flow. They're probably going to announce some share buybacks, and I think that's going to help with this stock and the recovery of the stock price going forward. You can see that crude is up today. Crude futures for November 24th are up $1.27 right now, as we're in 13 minutes away from the open. So it's likely to be a bit of a lift there for most of the crude stocks that we cover. Then we get down into technology, and we've got pretty much red across the screen because the overall NASDAQ is in the red. Salesforce made an announcement this morning that it's partnering with Blue Cross Blue Shield of California on an all AI healthcare approval system. That has done nothing to really help the stock. The stock is off to the tune of almost $5. Scrolling down further, other stocks that we'll want to keep an eye on this week. One of those is going to be Tesla. Tesla announces earnings this week, so they're coming out with earnings in 2 days, so on Wednesday. So we'll be looking for their production numbers and sales numbers coming out with those earnings. We've got Meta reporting next week, so they're 9 days out. That's one I'm definitely keeping an eye on. And then NVIDIA. NVIDIA was up Friday. It was down a lot more in the pre-market a few hours ago. Now it's only a cent off. So I think we're going to see NVIDIA make some more gains today. And if they make some gains, NVDL, which is the one here from Granite Shares, the hedged offering 2 times long on NVIDIA, should go up and increase as well. Then if we scroll down right to our bottom, the one that I'm really following is Google. I think Google in the 164, 165 range is a really attractive price, knowing that earnings are a week out. And I think Google is going to have a very positive earnings report. The other one that's pulled back since it announced earnings last week was TSM. TSM had some great earnings. The stock shot up over 200, up into the, let's see what it was, 212, into the 210, 212 range. It's now dropped back down into the 200s. I expect a bit of a further pullback on that. So I would continue to watch that one. And if it dropped down into the low 190s, I would definitely look to pick some TSM up, because I think it's got a lot of positive things going for it, and it should have another strong earnings print in the next quarterly release. Then we got financials, and SoFi reports in 8 days. SoFi has shot up 40%-ish in the last couple of months, so that's been an amazing investment there, and one that we've recommended on the channel. MTB had good earnings, and they were up, although they're off a little bit on Friday and today. Morgan Stanley had great earnings. Goldman had great earnings as well, but shot up and didn't maintain the level that it shot up to. It came back down, kind of hovered around the 530s. I do expect this stock to get up into the 540s, 550s by the end of this year. So I'll be watching that one. I am definitely an owner of Goldman right now, and anticipate that stock will move higher. So that's where we are today. The earnings coming out this week of the stocks we follow. We have Zion Bancorp after market today. We've got CNR, which we talked about earlier, after market tomorrow, as well as Bank of California before the market tomorrow. Then Wednesday, we've got Tesla, IBM, Raymond James, and Lam Research, all of which we'll be keeping an eye on. And then we've got Valero and HCA on Thursday and Friday. So that's what the week's shaping up like. Good luck with your trades today. And if you're liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe.